Welcome to Leo for Leos. This is a channel featuring intuitive tarot readings for the astrological sign of Leos, Sun, Moon, and Rising. I'm a Leo as well, so that's why the channel is called Leo for Leos. Cross-watchers and fellow readers are welcome. However, I do want to give you a heads up that I read the cards as I see them and not always the way it's traditionally done. So let's get started. I'm using the Smith-Waite Tarot deck, the Centennial Edition. Okay. And this reading is going to be for October 2020 for my Leos. October 2020. What is in store for Leos in October 2020? Any advice and solutions for what is to come? October 2020 for Leos. October 2020. Leos. Ooh. Okay. Wants to come out. All right. Okay. Now I'm going to choose. I see some people go like, they move the cards and they do the, let me see if I could do it like this one lady I've seen. She spreads it out and it's like so perfect. And of course, nope. Well, maybe with some practice I can get there. All right, let's pick. All these pentacles down here. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, so I'm going to ask for your forgiveness now because I'm in a very kind of noisy place, so you might hear some interruptions here and there. Okay, besides that, let's go dive into the reading. Okay, so it starts off with the Five of Wands, which is sometimes referring to friendly competition or just like competing for something. So there may be a feeling of competition or competing for something in your field, either for business. It could even be in your household, competing for attention, competing for the top spot. And let's get a little bit more. It might not even be like you against a person. It just may be like desiring something and not being able to quite master it or what I'm seeing is competing against oneself. Okay, we have the World, which means that you are competing against yourself. You are reaching into a new frame of mind, a new way of thinking, a new way of existing. You're embarking on new things. And so with this new, this embarking on this new thing, you're the only person that you can really compete against is yourself. But you want to be successful. You want to achieve these goals of yours. And they span throughout different parts of your life. Relationships, money, it's just all over the place. You just want to be able to finally get your hands on some sort of mastery. You want to be able to master the things in your life or your world. And you're seeking for the all-elusive harmony. You are seeking for trying to get harmony amongst your entire platform of relationships, money, everything. You're trying to get that harmony that you're so desiring, that equilibrium, that nexus, that ultimate happiness. And these are great desires. I mean, these are just desires that you have, and it's, I guess you could call it ambition. This is your ambition for the things that you want in your life. I think relationships too, with this the Lovers cards, with the Lovers card showing up, really talks about relationships too. You want to master your relationships with people, either people that work with you or for you, or people who are in your household. You just want to be able to figure out how to master that, your relationships too. And there's a sense of looking forward and feeling very hopeful about it. You're definitely feeling like, hey, I can see that the future's quite bright for me. This is not the end of the line for me. There's so much more that I can have here. There's so much more I can do to improve my relationships, to improve my life in general. So right now, I mean, I'm sensing a lot of hope here. There's so much hope. And there's a lot of hope for financial success, the way you want it, on your terms. And I think this is good. I mean, you're hopeful. This is October. You're hopeful. I see that there's so much more. It doesn't escape me that you've got Pentacles down here. There's a strong money emphasis, or an emphasis on money. So it's like money and relationships are really on your mind, and you're trying to manage them all and trying to work on improving them. Every single one, like relationships with your family, friends, co-workers, relationships with people, and then there's this incredible desire to make sure that you're financially set up, and you're working on that. This is what you're working on. So the next, we'll go on to the Judgment now. The Judgment card is really about something about this whole thing has kind of reinvigorated you and kind of made you like reset how you want to frame things, how you want to look at things, how you want to face the world, how you want to deal with things. So your entire mindset is really kind of shifting and changing and becoming more in line with your desire. So there's been some shift. Whether it's probably already happened, but it's also about talking about it happening also still, like you're still learning new things about this change. You're still absorbing more information about ways you can think, ways you can change the way you think about things, the perspectives that you can look at the world, and maybe even situations, or even what people call challenges. You're now looking at life in a completely different way, and you're also working on continuing that growth process, personal development, gratitude, how to become more and how to become a better human being in your own perspective. Okay, so that's changing, that's modifying, and it's growing, it's expanding. There's also a sense and a reliance on knowing that like a sense of surrender to a lot of things too, that you can't change. It's like, okay, I can never change this, so I need to start looking at the world differently. Since I can't change that, I can change the way I think about that, and I could also change my response to some of the things that are happening around me. I love that for Leos, because that's not only is it sort of talking about a mindset, it's also advice. It's giving advice to Leos who may be seeing things in a very dark and dismal way, that you can look at things, if you can't change it, if you can't actually change it right now, you can look at it in a way that's that you can figure out how to maneuver in tight spots. That maybe there is a chance that you can't, that maybe if you're looking at life in a negative way, looking at something in a positive way can help you get through the hard times. Yeah, it's about mindset. And it's also talking about perspective. Let's look more into this perspective here. Ooh. And this is the healing card too. You're not really like talking about this with a lot of people. You're internalizing this. You're like taking time out for yourself to kind of like figure this out. There may be a period of maybe a week or two where you're like not really wanting to talk to a lot of people. You want to like take care of yourself. Maybe you might want to spend extra time luxuriating yourself, take long baths, maybe go on vacation, or there's something about maybe the beginning of October to maybe the middle of October, where you're kind of taking a little hiatus from everyone and just looking at the changes that you've made and looking at ways you can make better changes. Okay, that is always awesome. I love personally I love quiet times, and I could just think of all the things that maybe I want to tweak here and there, or I look at how far I've come, and that's something that Leos will be doing in October. Ooh, secrets. There may be some secrets that are going on here too, like trying to figure out maybe if you want to tell a secret, or if you discover a secret. Let's find out about the secret. Something that's hidden in plain sight that's revealed. why did we get the moon card here? Why did we get the secret card? The card of secrets. It's about secret potential. Secret potential. There's something that maybe you want to do, and maybe you have a talent in that you either want to pursue, or you know, people just don't know about. And for many Leos, this is something that maybe you are keeping a secret on purpose because you don't want people to take advantage of you. I'm seeing that for quite a few of you guys. It's like, I'm not going to tell people what I can do because then they'll take advantage. And let's see. Oh, look at this. The secret potential that you have could be your legacy. Could be your legacy. I mean, maybe you may be like around people and they may be asking you what you do for a living, and you're like, you play it off like it's not really that important, but it kind of is a big deal. It's about like keeping your talent in the shadows, but this is the talent that's going to get you to this legacy here, to the empire that a lot of Leos want to build, to that you know, that financial success that a lot of Leos are looking for. Yeah, and it may be about you deciding you want to finally reveal what you've been hiding. Like maybe some of you are great singers and you're like, you know, I've been sitting on this talent and not using it. Why don't I just like create a YouTube channel and start singing covers? It may be something as simple as that. I got to get this out of my system and do this. Or some of you may be fashion designers. I'm seeing some of you maybe even in the field of the mysticism, the tarot reading. I see that for a lot of Leos. I've been noticing a lot of Leos as tarot readers lately too. A lot of fire signs get into tarot reading, I notice. At least they're the ones that make themselves known quite often. So yeah, I'm just sensing that there's a hidden secret talent, or talent that you're not ready to tell everybody that you have, but it is definitely the one that is going to break that door down to lead to success, to lead to this like harmony in your life and legacy. So I'm going to move on because I love this stack here. We're going to move on to the Ten of Swords. The Ten of Swords can mean many things. In this particular case, it really talks about the ending of a struggle. I mean, it doesn't mean that you're never going to be. It doesn't mean that you're never going to struggle again. It just means that this particular struggle that you're dealing with, this one particular subject matter is going to end. And it's the ending of making decisions on a certain thing that you need to make. You're going to make one final, either you're going to make one final decision that changes everything, or it's the end of a series of decisions that have led to a place where you're not happy. And let's look into that. It may be due to an announcement, either that you hear or that you make. So there may be an announcement in October that you hear that kind of changes everything, like clicks and like, oh, I didn't know that. And that could be part of the secret. That could be part of the secret, because secrets, I mean, you're keeping a secret, but there could be other secrets out there that need to be revealed. So you could be making this announcement, but also there could be an announcement made that reveals a secret as well. We're covering it all because I think it's really interesting how, and you'll probably be able to understand this, how when the moment you have something to say, someone else has something to say too, like how we all kind of dance around each other in this kind of weird ecosystem of emotions. So there could be, you know, like I remember one particular case where I quit a job, or I announced it was my last 2 weeks, and then the job itself said, well, very interesting because we're moving. And they, you know, they announced that they were moving, and that was sort of like, are you kidding me? I couldn't have planned that better, you know, and it was really interesting because my boss was very nervous about having to tell me that they were going to move, because she knew that I couldn't move with her, or I couldn't move with the store. So yeah, it was really interesting. So do look out for that. Look for an announcement publicly, as well as a possible chance that you might be making an announcement, and it ends something. It may be, we had a lot of people last month quit, and also in August quit their jobs. There may be like more people joining the bandwagon, more Leos joining the bandwagon of having to leave their jobs or wanting to explore other things. All right, so then we have some studying that needs to happen. Some research, some studying that you'll have to do to kind of adjust to any changes or to any decisions that you make, or to this new cycle where you're ending something that was pretty painful and moving on to this new cycle, a brand new cycle. And remember that we had the world here, and that's also about new cycles, stepping into something new. Okay, let's look at that again. So competition with yourself and the world, stepping into something new to bring harmony to your relationships, looking forward, moving forward to the future, and leading to financial success. That's what this is all about. Again, it's a financial success situation. That's what Leos are doing. We're looking for this legacy, this empire, growing to old age and having, having it all. Yeah, so there's going to be some studying and a curve, a learning curve, if you will, for this new cycle you're going on, and it will be exciting and fun. Oh, King of Pentacles. That is the energy of like mastering your own money. There could be a person too that's involved, that is that you might see in your periphery, that is a master of money who could give you advice. Use that. If you see someone in your vicinity that is like, seems like they know a lot about investing, that they seem to know a lot about starting a new business, that they seem to be really on top of their situation. You want to get as much information from them as possible, so you can grow. So you can grow. Okay? Now, whatever this King of Pentacles touches turns to growth. And if you have someone like that in your vicinity, that's a good sign for you. Okay? And if you're this person, or you're aspiring to be the King of Pentacles, the person who is able to nurture and grow things, grow ideas, grow concepts into profitable businesses. This is something that you want to harness and you want to learn about, and I think there's a hunger there. There's a hunger. There's like a real palpable hunger for knowledge and learning, and this is pretty awesome for my Leos. Yes, you're learning. You're putting down the fluffy cosmopolitan books, and you are picking up, or you're putting down GQ, and you're putting down the fluffy cosmopolitan books, and you are picking up, Forbes, and you're picking up the Wall Street Journal, and you're like trying to figure out how to make money, how to start businesses, how to run businesses efficiently, what you should be doing with your business if you have one to make it grow, how to diversify, how to get better staff, everything. You're looking into stuff to do with money. It has to do with money, finances, saving, bonds, stocks, what have you. Leos want to get into it. They're looking at investments. They're looking at Bitcoin. They're looking at everything that they can possibly find to change their financial trajectory, either enhance it from what they have already, or just like start new. Like that's a very powerful and exciting energy, and a lot of it stems from, again, this talent, hidden talent that you know that you have, and that you're now tapping into it in a different way that you've never tapped into it before, using that potential that you have. Again, competing against no one else but yourself. You want to achieve your highest possible goal ever. And I love that Leos are not competing against the other people, that they're competing against themselves. It's powerful. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna move on to the Two of Pentacles here, and that is the Juggling card. Once you've already set up your goals, you're now juggling what you have versus what you plan on having. And there's a lot of changes that need to be made. If I get the Temperance card, my goodness, that will be just so awesome in this pile to confirm. No, we don't have the Temperance. We have this guy. It's going to be a struggle, but you're up for the challenge. Okay, Leos are up for the challenge. If you look at this guy's face, he's like, yep, I'm ready. He's he's been through a lot of garbage, a lot of stuff, a lot of struggles. We already had the 10 of Swords to prove that Leos have been through a lot. And this is really just embracing a brand new, like, hey, look, we're going the distance. We are going to go the distance, and we're going to get this done, and we can do it. There's a lot of motivation behind this, and let's see. Ooh, Leos are waiting for their ships to come in. They're waiting for they know that they can succeed it's just about the timing at this point, like putting in the hard work and reaping and sowing, okay? Reaping and sowing. So this guy has done the hard work. He has done the hard work. He has planted these guys, okay? But he's just waiting for he's just waiting for, you know, them to blossom. He's just waiting for them to blossom. Okay? He's planted the seeds already. He's already planted the seeds. So that's the other cool thing, is that this card is not a lazy card. He's already done the work. And Queen of Swords. So there may be a decision to make. That is a pretty big decision. Yeah, it could be a very big decision. Let's see. Why did we get the Queen of Swords here? Oh, King of Swords. King of Swords too. Another big decision. There may be two decisions that you make that are like astronomical. It may also have to do with legal. There may be a legal component to this, where you may need to bone up on your legal skills, or to make sure that things that you're doing are absolutely to the letter, following the rules. It's following the tax rules. It's following any kind of like manuals or things that are important for you to follow. There may be, if you're like drawing up new plans, where you're like, hey, I am splitting my company, and you may need to get a lawyer involved. You may need to get a real lawyer involved with this, to make sure that everything that you're doing is not only just legal but correct, and make sure that you are not getting jilted by the situation, that you're not giving up too much, that things are done fairly. That's a big thing there. So there may be lawyers involved, again, and making decisions that may involve lawyers, and also the legal system, or doing something properly, or I'm trying to think of the right thing, but doing things to the letter, the way they're supposed to be done. If there's a procedure, following that procedure to the letter. If you desire success, you cannot be sloppy on this. It has to be done correctly. Okay? And only through that way can you get the success that you want. Only through the legal, strenuously, meticulous ways will you be able to find victory at the end of your mission. Like, if it is, again, about like splitting something up, if it's about changing the name of a company, if it's about starting a company, make sure you've got a lawyer to kind of help talk to you, or an accountant, or someone who can just give you, and I know it's hard to, when you're starting a business, it's hard to like get legal advice, but even if you're, just try to look at the small print of everything and try to dissect it. Take your time with this stuff, and really that is how it's going to end up being a victory for Leos. So let's move on to the Four of Pentacles, which is really talking about saving your money and hoarding it a little bit. It may be even hoarding time. It could be even hoarding time. Like, you don't have time for just anybody's BS, or just a hangout for hangout's sake, that you have plans and you have things that you need to do. I'm seeing that there's a combination of money and time. And for many Leos, money is time. Okay? So, let's go into it a little further. Okay, it has to do, it has to do with a combination of past, present, and future thoughts about money. It's not necessarily you're going to experience that right then, because everything else in the deck really tells me that there's a lot of hope and sunshine going on. This is about fears that you may have about what happened in the past, things that you fear in your present, and things that you fear about your future. But look, there's a clarity of vision. You're doing the right things. You're proceeding in the correct manner. You're making decisions that are smart. Okay, this is a smart decision. You're making smart decisions. You're not just doing things for fun or ego or the thrill of it. That's not something that you're interested in. I mean, maybe on some other level, but right now, in this particular case, it's more about making smart decisions. Smart decisions. And just by like clicking on this video, the universe is telling me that that's what you're looking for. You're looking for a smart and serious way of getting to your success. Or keeping your success if you have some. Keeping a hold of your assets. Ooh. See, oh, we've got 2 cards. We've got a Tower. And then we have this unsatisfied 4 of Cups. Now this has caused me, I'm going to have to pull a few more cards to completely dissect this in the proper way. Give me a minute. Okay. Oh. Hang on a minute here. So, when I put all these cards together, I get a mixture of happy, sad, happy, sad, happy, sad. And it's almost like Leos are... but the end 2 cards are happy, which is good. That's a good sign. So what it seems like is that Leos are in a mixture of emotions, like between like feeling hopeful and then not being satisfied, not being happy, emotional distress, you know, heartbreak over what has happened, and maybe even there may even be like a parting of the ways. See, parting of the ways with someone or something that causes like hurt feelings a little bit, but and crying over spilled milks. What could have been? What could have happened? So there may be that. There may be some looking back, but then in between you've got, okay, this nice clarity, smart decisions. We've got justice, that if you're on the right side of what is going on, if you're not like doing anything nefarious or anything, you're going to come out fine. And other people, you know, if they're not doing the right thing, they're going to have their day to deal with. And also, again, this is legal stuff. This is legal stuff written all over it. Then it's like winning, you win this, but you have to say goodbye. So for a couple people, it may be like something to do with the court system. And maybe, again, we talked about a company splitting. It could be a divorce or something like that, because Usually divorces feel this, and I always say love is messy, but this turnout of cards feels like a couple of Leos are doing the legal measures to divorce someone. And it says it right here, something ending, having clarity of thought, and like, yeah, I'm gonna make this smart decision, doing it legally, leaving leaving for good, moving on to something new and exciting, new future. Crying over spilled milk, though. I mean, in the same breath, you're like, yeah, I get to have this new life, but I'm also crying over this spilled milk, and I'm gonna have to start all back over again, building my foundation with a new partner. And this is the single person's card. This is about being independent on your own, having your own stuff, and mastering your own world. So, yeah, for a couple of you guys, that's exactly, that may be talking about finalizing a divorce or deciding to divorce or something to that thing, which is sad. I hate to say that, but for a lot of you guys, it's something that you've been thinking about for a while, and that you need to do, or feel like you need to do for yourself. So yeah, that's one area that, that's for quite a few Leos. I mean, myself personally, this wouldn't, happen for me because I'm single, but it could be for some of you out there. That was just something that had to break through. So the cards are talking about that, but okay, so now moving on, we're going to go on to the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is also a master of money. We've got the King up here. There's the Queen. The thing about the Queen of Pentacles is that she is really more nurturing. So there may be more attentiveness to, like, nurturing your business ideas or your career, but also to make sure that you are doing things that are helping, like maybe taking classes, maybe hiring certain people, maybe just like embarking on new ideas, like maybe adding new products, or coming up with brand new ideas for your company or the place that you work with. It's a very nurturing. It's also like doing things in a much softer way than the King of Pentacles would do. And it feels very motherly too. It's yeah, it feels very motherly. Even if you're a guy, this is like taking, being gentle with it, being very gentle, but nurturing it all along, like a little baby plant. You don't go tossing around a little baby plant. You want to be very gentle with it as it grows. So yeah, there's that. And then let's go a little deeper. Leos, you're like up nights worrying about stuff. Okay, you're trying to make a decision. Between wallowing in your own grief and feeling happy. I hope you choose feeling happy instead of wallowing in your own grief. Because look, we talked about it before, looking at life in a different way, from a different perspective. that can change your mood instantly. Like if you think of a flower and you're like, oh my God, it's sucking up all of the air in the room, and you're like, no, it's only sucking up the carbon monoxide. It's only sucking up the carbon monoxide. And you're like, oh, it changes the way you feel like a plant in the room. Oh, it doesn't work because it's taking up so much space. It's like, well, actually, it's giving you more air. It's actually cleaning the air out for you. Oh, that changes things. When you think of the sun, like, oh, the sun is in my eye. I can't see anything. It's so bright. But then you're like, oh my God, it's so nice to feel the warm sun up on my face and on my skin. And thank goodness it's not gloomy today. And the sun is great for the plants. There's so much that you can look in different ways. I mean, I'm only using trivial things like that and not using more serious situation, but you can apply that to the more serious situations in your own way, because I don't want to define that for you. But it's about picturing something a little bit different than what you would think immediately in reality. Just looking at the world in a better light. And Leos can do that. We're really good at that. And also, don't just do it for you, but the people around you. They need a little bit more. They need encouragement too, Let's pick something. Okay, we've got the Passion card. The Leos are passionate about the things that they're doing, and that's going to bleed into November nicely. Whatever it is that you're doing, it will definitely lead. Your emotions, though, are going to be up and down. There's a sense of like you now can do anything you want. Anything. It's like your vision is opening up. Your vision is opening up and you're feeling like there's so many possibilities now. But don't get too wild about it. Stay focused. And again, if you choose anything, definitely do your research. Don't just go jumping into anything. And there's a commitment happening. You're becoming married to something, and oh gosh, this guy wanted to come out. No! Now I gotta pull a whole bunch of cards to figure this out. Why did the devil show up? My God, that's a temptation. Leos are there. The mind is just floating around with so many ideas and so many things going on. It's like happy, sad, upset. Their emotions are all over the place. I think this is a warning that temptations are there. Temptations are there. There's the temptation for self-satisfaction. I'm going to end the cards with this, the Emperor, which means stay disciplined. Okay? And I think that has to do a lot with the cards that I had here, which was talking about getting things done right, legally, dotting all the I's and crossing the T's. Like, make sure you're following the rules, like to the letter. And think about everything legally. Think about legal stuff, because legal issues are doing everything legally is the only way that Leo's going to find his victory. Okay? Gonna find that victory through the legal ways. So I'm going to do some angel answers. So funny because my nails kind of match these cards. Find out what's going on with the Leos, and then we just summarize this card. Summarize this this reading. Success. Wow, success. This is great. I'm going to read from the book that comes with the card. Congratulations, you are on the road to success. You needn't have any reservations about your situation, as it's going to work out beautifully. A part of living a successful life is taking care of yourself. It's wonderful to have many things to be grateful for, but make sure you don't wear yourself down by working too hard. Take time to enjoy peace in your life. Well, for my Leos out there, I hope that helps you. Thank you so very much for watching, supporting, and subscribing. If you haven't, please consider doing so for more Leo intuitive tarot readings. Be sure to hit the bell icon to be the very first to know when my next video gets posted. Many blessings to you, my awesome Leos! And remember, this channel is for you and you alone.